All right, what is going on, everybody? It is Mark Attack, and welcome back to the channel. And today I have a tutorial video on how to get around Canadian Tire here on NASCAR Heat 5 in the 2020 Truck Series. It's the first time I've done a tutorial video in a while. I was mainly doing tutorial videos in the 2022 Cup Series, but recently my league made a change back over here to the Truck Series. So today have a tutorial video as well as the setup that will be provided on how to get around Canadian Tire. But before we get into today's video, I want to remind everybody to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Make sure to leave a like, comment as well, all the good stuff if you as well. And if there's another track that you guys would like me to do a tutorial video on, leave a comment on what track that is, and I will try to provide that as soon as I can. Life has been pretty busy with work and other things going on, so I try to get on here when I can, when I have time to provide these videos. But this tutorial video is not only for my league, it's for you guys on YouTube as well. So hope everybody enjoys this video. And all this is just to help everybody get more accustomed to running the road courses. I know most people shy away from road courses and don't like to run them, but hopefully this video helps everybody out in some sort of way. Helps you just get a little bit better here at these road courses. But today we got Canadian Tire. I will show here the setup right now as it is right there on your screen. You need to pause to kind of take a look at it and take a deeper dive. You can do so as well. But there is a setup that I run at Canadian Tire. So what I will do, I've done this in the past. I will run a couple laps, just kind of show everybody how I get around Canadian Tire, and then I'll slow down and kind of show everybody my brake markers, where I lift, what gears I'm in, and all that good stuff. And if you run a different setup that you're more accustomed to and you feel more comfortable with, that's perfectly fine. My braking points and the gears that I run in the corners might be a little bit different than yours, so kind of take that with a grain of salt depending on what setup you have. But if you do run the setup again right here that is on your screen, this is a really good basis on how to get around here. So there again is the setup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So we'll come off pit road here. Again, I'll run a couple laps, probably 2 or 3 laps, and then I will kind of slow things down and kind of take it step by step on how to get around here. But here we got turn 2, which is a left-hander. A lot of these turns are like sweeping left-handers and sweeping right-handers, so they're really long turns. There's a few kind of short, tight turns, don't get me wrong, but a lot of these turns are really long, sweeping turns. So it's really important that you have a good truck to help navigate both ends of the spectrum. And again, hopefully we will accomplish that feat today here at Canadian Tire in the Truck Series. But we're here on our warm-up lap, going down the long back straightaway here at Canadian Tire, coming up to the final few sets of corners, and we'll see what kind of lap time we can put down here. Usually at the start of the run, I'm usually in the high 117s to low 118s. I am running this on ×2 tire wear as well. I just want to kind of put that out there, just so I can run a few extra laps without running out of fuel. But you can run this setup on any type of tire wear that you run. So whether it's ×1, ×2, ×3, or ×4, the setup is really good. So it works for all modes of racing. But we're here on the first lap, going through turn 2. Now we got turn 3, sweeping right-hander. And really important, you kind of coast and set up your exit. Now we head down to what I think is the most treacherous part of the track. You got a little downhill left-hander. Then you got 2 back-to-back tight right-handers here. And this corner right here that we're going through right now, that corner right there is, I think, the most important on the course, because it sets up your speed coming down this long back straightaway. And getting off that corner is very, very essential to running a really good lap here at Canadian Tire. So mark that down as definitely one of the most important corners to get through on this course. Here we got the final few sets of corners. We got a sweeping right-hander here. Stay to the right as we have a quick little left-hander and then another little quick right-hander going back to the start-finish line to complete our first lap. First lap again, pretty slow, 1:18.4. We'll try to pick it up here on the second lap. Again, there's turn 1, right-hander. Now we got the sweeping left-hander here, turn 2. And it's important to slow down early. I always say it to the guys in my league on Tuesdays, slower is faster. You want to make sure you're keeping all 4 tires on the track. As always, keep your car on the, or excuse me, your truck, that is, on the racing surface. It's very imperiled to running good at any road course, especially this one. Ooh, we got really loose there. That's going to hurt our lap there. Got on the gas a little too quick. And that's definitely one of the challenges when you're coming to these road courses is throttle management. You don't want to smash the throttle or get on the throttle really hard, because that oftentimes will get the truck very, very loose and out of control. So you want to be nice and steady. You know what they say, slow and steady wins the race a lot of times. Just being consistent is very key. But alright, we ran what'll be now lap 2. I'll run one more lap here, and then we will kind of slow things down. I'll kind of take it corner by corner on what I do. So again, there's turn 1. As we're coming up to turn 2 here. We overdrove it a little bit, went a little wide, which is very easy to do. There we go. Now we got turn number 3 there, the right-hander. Heading down I think the most tricky part of the track here. Turns 4, 5, and 6. Again, second gear. Want to set up your exit off of this corner is very important. There we go. For this setup, I always use either second or third gear most of the time. Never use first gear. There's really no need to, so first gear is not a requirement at this track to use. So you're mainly going to be in second and third gear for this course. Now we got, again, the sweeping right-hander. Now we got the last 2 set of corners here. Quick left and another quick right. And then back to the start-finish line we go. Alright, so that's 3 laps right there. There's a 1:17.2. Again, one low 118s to high 117s is a good starting point. And the thing to remember at a road course is your slowest laps should always be the first few laps. You should increase your speed and get faster as the run goes on and as you burn more fuel. So just keep that in mind. You should get faster as the run goes on. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of slow things down and kind of take it corner by corner on what I do and kind of what gear I'm in. So as we're coming past the start-finish line into turn number 1, now, a good breaking point for me is about these last couple sets of NASCAR signs here on the right side of the wall. I know they're really kind of tough to see. They're pretty small, but there's really no other brake markers, so I kind of use those as a guideline for turn 1 there. I always use third gear for my setup here in turn 1. Again, if you have a different setup, it might be a little bit different for you, but for my setup, third gear is what you want to use for turn number 1. And as you come off turn number 1, you want to take it to the right here because you want to set up your arc for turn number 2 here, which is a sweeping left-hander. And I usually start braking as I get to this NASCAR sign. So as you get to that NASCAR sign there on the top of your screen, this is about where I start braking, right about here. For my setup, you could use a preference. You could either use second or third gear. I usually try to keep it in third gear, especially if I hit my brake markers right and I hit my arc right. I usually run it in third gear, but if you want to use second gear or if you overshoot it a little bit, you can always shift down the second gear as well. But again, usually I try to maintain it in third gear. Now we got a little bit of a straightaway before we head into turn number 3, which is a sweeping right-hander. And my brake marker for this corner, as I'm getting to this orange box or orange square there on the right side of the wall, as you can see right there. Right about here is where I start to brake. But it's important to kind of, as you're getting ready to set up this corner, you want to keep it wide and set up your arc. It's very important to do that. For turn 3 here, and I always use second gear for this corner, so second gear here for the third corner. And as you're coming off this corner, you got a little bit of a straightaway before you got, again, what I think is the most difficult part of the track. You got a little downhill section here, and it's very easy to get loose and for the truck to step out of control. So I always usually do a quick upshift to fourth to kind of help the truck stay on balance and kind of keep it under control. Otherwise, you could use third gear as well if you're able to maintain it. But as you're heading down here to the next set of corners, my brake marker for that first right-hander up ahead is at the end of this little black patch. Right about here is where I usually start braking. And you want to shift down from fourth gear to about second gear through here. Kind of just letting the car slow down and do the work. You got the first right-hander here. And you kind of want to bring it up here by this curb, because this is going to set up for the next little quick right-hander. And this corner, I think, is the most important on the track, because again, it sets up your exit for the long back straightaway. So it's very important you set up your exit off of this corner right here, because this is where you're going to carry all your speed down this long back straightaway. So as we head through here, we'll have the final few sets of corners. We'll have kind of a sweeping right-hander, which I usually start slowing down about right here, just past that NASCAR sign. I use third gear through here, really just letting the truck roll, working the throttle. Then you want to stay to the right here for these last two set of corners. You got the quick left-hander there, and you want to stay to the left here for the last corner, which is the right-hander. Then you want to swing it down. And there's another lap around Canadian Tire. So kind of wanted to do that just to show everybody kind of a breakdown on how to get around here. So what I will do is I'll run probably 2 more laps here, and then we will call it a video. But again, just a quick basic tutorial video on how to get around Canadian Tire here in the truck series. Again, like I said at the top of the video, if there's any other tracks you guys would want me to make a tutorial video on, I will be happy to do so when I have time. Just leave a comment down below. Again, like the video if you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. As we can see right there, there's the fuel light coming on. I got enough fuel, I think, for maybe 1 more lap. We'll see if we can make it that extra lap here. Which I think we should be able to. So we will run 1 more lap here next lap, and then we will call her a day on here. Again, as we head to the sweeping right-hander here, and you want to be really patient. Set up your arc for this left-hander here, and help set up your arc for the last corner coming back to the start-finish line. Alright, so 1 more lap here. See kind of what time we can run. Again, third gear through that corner, turn 1. And we got the sweeping left-hander. I usually try to keep it in third gear. Again, you want to lift before that NASCAR sign. And we got turn 3 here. I lift just before that orange box on the right side of the wall. Use second gear. I got a little bit of a straightaway as we head to the downhill portion. I do an upshift to fourth again to kind of keep the truck under control. Start braking at the end of that black patch. You got the right-hander here. Use second gear. Really want to try and set up your exit there. It's got a little bit loose. And down the back stretch here. Going up the hill. So we make our way to the last 3 sets of corners here. Again, got the sweeping right-hander here. I start braking just past that NASCAR sign. Use third gear. Let it kind of roll. Working the throttle. You got the last 2 sets of corners there. Kind of missed it a little bit there. We got the quick left and then the quick right. And there we go. Wasn't as good of a lap as I kind of hoped, but if you can nail your laps and you can hit your marks right, you can definitely get down the 1/16s as long as you hit your lines right and hit your marks right. But there's a tutorial video again on how to get around Canadian Tire here in the truck series. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Again, like, subscribe, leave a comment as well on what you thought of this video, and if you want any other tracks that you'd like me to make a video on, I'm more than happy to. Again, there is the setup for Canadian Tire, and we are going to go ahead and sign out. This is Mark Mac Attack signing off. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend as well, and we will catch you guys in the next video.